Morning. Saturday, happy weekend. Just off on my way into my white privilege gym. And I used that for the start of the video because I used to listen to a radio station called TalkSport, who are the biggest, well it is, it's TalkSport. It does exactly what it says on the tin, and me being a big sports fan, I used to tune into it day by length. I'd have it in the background, chirping up in my ear and listening to the various stories and the breaking news. But about a year ago, I made a conscious effort to turn it off because the bullshit that they are portraying, or the idiots that they had coming on to the show, i.e. guests or presenters, kind of went from a level 5 to level 1. And I'm not talking about intelligence because, well, that did go as well, but it was the message that was being portrayed. So anyway, that's by the by, but it's not by the by because we'll come back to it in a minute. So a guest that they had on there was Trevor Sinclair, and now he got a regular slot on 10 o'clock morning, which is prime time. Like the early show and the 10 o'clock morning show and the drive show are like prime time. That's where they get the big numbers. Henceforth, hitting the masses, hitting the people who absorb this shit. So Trevor Sinclair, come on. Now, Trevor Sinclair was a footballer who started at Blackpool locally, so obviously local interest, local lad to a certain degree, even though he's from somewhere in Manchester, but made his name at Blackpool, got a big move to the Premier League, played for, I think off the top of my head, Queen's Park Rangers, got a move to London, good looking lad back in the day, nice big head of dreadlocks and whatnot, and, you know, represented kind of, you know, a local lad done good, a lad from maybe a different background. His skin was maybe 2 shades darker than mine because I tan the beds, and was kind of really well liked as a footballer. You know, nothing much was said about him. But since he's finished his career, again, only my opinion, because that's, at the end of the day, it's my channel, so I can give my opinion. And much the same as Trevor can. You know, if you want to give that opinion, brother, and we're going to get to this in a minute, give your opinion. It's not a problem, as long as you're respectful whilst you're doing that. And this is my point the other day about stereotypes. There's nothing wrong with attacking a stereotype, because a stereotype isn't a person. The stereotype is a perceived perception of a person. So if I say, for instance, I'm going to chuck one in there because, to be fair, I can't be asked much longer because I need to get in that swimming pool because I'm privileged. That I pay for. Stereotypes. If you attack a person or you accost someone, then you're out of order. You're a bully. If you attack a stereotype of a person, i.e., I don't know, a young girl with fucking lips out here, tits out here, fucking eyebrows out here, and she's driving a Fiat 500 and she's on a phone while she's texting. Now that becomes a stereotype because we've all been and we've all seen those types of people all the time. I pull up in my job daily and I will look down to my right and I will see Chantel Demi looking upset and angry and confused and dazed and elated. I don't know, because I can't tell anymore because that's her face that she's bought. But she still looks very unhappy, even though she's had a new set of tits off her dad for £4,000. The Fiat 500's on tick off her mum. Her lips that she pays £100 a week for outweigh the universal credit payment of 84 quid. But she still looks unhappy. Got off on a tangent here, haven't we? It's only bloody, what time is it? 10 to 9, and we've gone off on a tangent. So what, no, I mean, fuck Chantel to me. I'm not asked about her. She's just a fucking byproduct. Trevor Sinclair, let's get back to the real fruit behind this chat. Trevor Sinclair has come out in the middle of the night, or sorry, yesterday, and I've read it in the night. And he said that why would Brown or, let me get this right. So this is on his Twitter account. Now, I'm sure it's been taken down, but I've screenshotted the living shit out of it, as you can imagine, because I fucking hate cunts like him. He's come out as a tweet and said, why would brown or black people be mourning? Sorry, say that again, Trevor. This is Trevor Sinclair, who played for England, by the way, put an England shirt on, to which was, you know, governed by the Queen. Let me just have, I'm just going to let that sink into you. Why would brown or black people be mourning? I mean, was he sat on Anthony Joshua's cock when he said that? When they said don't shop in white shops? So the point of this chat is racism. And I don't fucking care. I'll talk about it all day long. And I'll point out people like Trevor Sinclair and Anthony Joshua, who are figureheads within sport. They have an influence over people. I don't care if you are pink, purple, yellow, green polka dots on your head. And neither does the majority of England, which is why, I guess, with the benefit system, which is why I guess that many people want to come and live here, because it used to be, not now, it used to be a safe, secure, lots of opportunity. There are lots of people, I mean, this is what pisses me right off. Dickheads like these two make genuine, good, hard-working people, families, units, susceptible to, I don't know, question. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is, these fucking dickheads are the racists. People get on with their own lives in daily life, from all backgrounds, from all factions, from all sexualities, whatever. People who know me will know that I don't even need to qualify myself, because I'm sick of people having to qualify themselves with this shit. Dickheads like these that we put in. I'll put another one in there. Lewis Hamilton. Motherfucker. Slating England, slating white privilege, slating whatever. He was sat bent on his knee in front of the Queen, taking his big one. His big MBE, whatever it was, the little shit house. Listen to what I'm saying. There ain't no racism problem. It's a victim problem. 80s, I grew up in the 80s. In my mainstream schooling, my mum and dad were not wealthy or privileged or whatever you want to call it. I went to school down the street. State school. Didn't go to grammar school. Mum and dad couldn't afford it. Mum and dad were working 7 days a week. Didn't go to university. Mum and dad couldn't afford it. And I wasn't from a foreign land, so it wasn't funded by the government. So my mum and dad would have had to pay for it. You know, not like today's kind of landscape where there is probably 3% local stroke national opportunities, certainly for white, skinny white men. You know, and man, I'm not telling you something that you can't research here. So I grew up in an era where I was mainstream schooled, and I knew right from wrong. I knew from day one that you couldn't bully someone. You couldn't, a great parenting as well, that you couldn't bully someone. You couldn't discriminate against someone's sex. You know, everybody was included, even back then, in the 80s. So all these victims that come out now and say, oh, well, I wasn't allowed to play football at my school in 1984. Bollocks. Bollocks, mate. There's always going to be bullying cases. There's always going to be, you know, above and beyond. But it isn't the norm. And I think if you speak to everyone on the street of certainly England in not the last 10 years, because it's not a racism problem, it's a victim problem. It's a victim mentality problem that allows you to prosper in life. If you say that I've been bullied and I need my job back and I need to get a promotion, you'll get it. Because it's the mentality that's been fed into you. What I need you to do is start opening your mind to this shit. You know, and so anyway, anyway, we've gone off on a rant here, haven't we? But fuck it. I'll tell you exactly how I feel. That's the way I feel this morning. And I think it's important, if you feel that way, get it out. Get it out. Go and speak to someone who will value or appreciate you doing that. Don't go and speak to fucking Karen down the street, because you'll get told that you're a bad man. You're not a bad man. You're not a bad woman. You're not a bad kid. You're not a bad dog, cat, whatever. You're just experiencing emotions. What else was I going to say? Because I really do need to go swimming. Because if not, I'm going to go and find Trevor Sinclair and knock fuck out of him. What a horrible young man. What a bad message to give to young people or impressionable people. I mean, you know what? Most of you are on my YouTube because you know my background. I didn't do my best 12 years ago, and I let the Queen down, shall we say. You know, and I did, and I let a lot of people down. But what I do now every day is make sure that I'm fucking bang on, and I make sure that I help people. I make sure that my true personality comes out, not someone that I want to be or perceive to be. So yeah, that's my pledge. I'm happy with me. I'm really happy with me, to be honest. And it hurts me sometimes when I see people struggling, and I see them struggling because they're not strong enough at that current point to stand up and say, fuck off, mate. And it hurts me that people like Knobhead Sinclair, Knobhead Joshua are in positions of influence, and they are creating, I'm going to put it right on you, Joshua, you big dosser, and Trevor Sinclair. If I ever see you in Lancaster, by the way, like I've put on my Facebook, if I ever see you in Lancaster again, because he used to be assistant manager at Lancaster, again, assistant, victim. If I ever see you in Lancaster again, we'll have this chat, you know, and I'll try and video it as well to see what bullshit you come up with. Yeah, I think we'll leave that there. Pretty fucking angry this morning. Within reason. Obviously, I'm not going to be angry in a minute because I'll be in the swimming pool enjoying my white privilege, Trevor. But, yeah, have a good weekend. Take heed on what I've said. There's a lot of good points there. Probably opened up more than what I should have done. Probably opened up more than I ever done. But I tell you one thing you can never say to me is that you haven't got the good intention, you haven't got the right intention, you are, well, let's term this term racist, you are racist, you are whatever. Go and show me someone that I've ever been that to, and I'll give you 20 quid cash in your hand, as long as you come and meet me, of course. I'll give you 20 quid cash in your hand. 20 quid, fucking hell, fire. Hang on a minute, let me revisit that. 20 quid, that's a lot of burger bills. Tenner, we'll call it a tenner. Right, anyway, have a good one. Adios, amigos.